This is the iPhone 13, one of the best-selling iPhones lately. Is it still worth buying in 2025? Today, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should get it, and my take on it at the end of the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more Apple content. Let's get into the video. The first reason to buy the iPhone 13 is its cameras. The iPhone 13 was the first to introduce cinematic mode, which opened up a lot more possibilities for recording. It can switch focus between subjects and even refocus things that were blurry during editing. This phone can shoot in 4K with both the front and rear cameras at 60 frames per second. Its low-light photos are really good. And what I like most is that when you upload content to social media, it doesn't lose any quality, which happens with phones from other brands. In fact, a lot of people wonder which is better, the iPhone 13 or the S23 FE, since they're both pretty similar in price. And even though the S23 FE has better zoom, the iPhone 13 looks way better when you upload content to social media. The iPhone 13's max zoom is 5x digital and 2x optical, which isn't bad, but there are better options out there. Overall, the iPhone 13's cameras are really good because they shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second, perform great in low light, and in 2025, the iPhone 13's cameras will still hold their own against high-end phones. The second reason to buy the iPhone 13 is its battery. The battery is, hands down, the best reason to get the iPhone 13. No joke. When Apple launched the iPhone 13, they really widened the gap between the iPhone 12 and the 13, with a battery that could last over 8 hours of continuous use, while the iPhone 12 was stuck at 6 hours and 30 minutes. This was the real game changer everyone was waiting for. An iPhone you could use all day without needing to charge by midday, so you could easily get through a whole day with your iPhone. According to K-Mobile, this iPhone 13 has a 3,240 mAh battery with 20W fast charging. Its fast charging might not be the best in 2025, but the truly massive advantage is the 8 hours of continuous use the iPhone 13 can offer. Let's move on to the third reason to buy the iPhone 13, which is its updates. The iPhone 13 should get updates until around 2027. Meaning you'll still have a phone with the latest tech until then, plus about 2 more years. What happens when 2027 rolls around and the iPhone 13 gets its last update? You'll still have a good phone. Why do people worry so much about updates? Because people currently think that just because a phone is 4 years old, it's totally obsolete, which isn't entirely true. I've met people who, in 2025, still use the iPhone 6s as their main phone and don't have major issues. Besides the battery, this iPhone 13 has good cameras, will keep getting updates for a while, and has plenty of other advantages to keep using it, even into 2030. One of the next advantages and reasons to buy it in 2025 is its performance. The iPhone 13's performance is top-notch. It comes with the Apple A15 Bionic chip, a processor capable of hitting over 1.2 million on Antutu version 10. With this phone, you'll be able to play any game from the App Store without issues, and browse will be super smooth. Of course, AAA games, which are focused on the newer iPhone generations, obviously won't be playable here. But games specifically designed for mobile that are shared between Android and iOS, well, you'll be able to play those without any problem. If we compare the Apple A15 Bionic chip with the latest processors, it falls a bit behind, but you don't really notice it in day-to-day use. So the iPhone 13 will still be an excellent option in 2025. Did you subscribe yet? It's important for you to get more and more updates on the Apple world, so go ahead and subscribe. And the fifth and final reason to buy the iPhone 13 is that it's the best bang for your buck. This iPhone 13 has good battery life, a good processor, good cameras, will keep getting updates, and it's well priced, since for around $400 or euros, you can buy the iPhone 13 in 2025. I know this varies a lot depending on the country and state where you buy the phone, but that's roughly the price you can find the iPhone 13 for. And at that price, it seems like more than a recommended option. Now I'm going to tell you my opinion on the iPhone 13 in 2025. In my opinion, the iPhone 13 in 2025 seems to have really good cameras. Its cameras are high quality, and it can record in 4K at 60 frames per second pretty steadily. In fact, its stabilization really surprised me. There's a super important point to mention about the iPhone 13, which is its small design. Something a lot of people don't like. In fact, many people I've seen prefer a large design over small designs. This isn't an official statistic, but I asked a lot of people, and they prefer a bigger phone to a small phone. However, in my opinion, having tested several phones of different sizes, The iPhone 13 doesn't seem like such a small or uncomfortable phone to me. In fact, it seems like a pretty comfortable phone compared to other much larger phones. That's why, for me, the design doesn't seem like an excuse not to buy this phone. It seems like a phone you can easily adapt to if you're used to slightly larger phones. However, if you're someone who's much more focused on mobile gaming and wants to enjoy movies on a much bigger screen, then I recommend the iPhone 13 Pro Max, because in that case, you'll enjoy the phone a lot more. But if you're someone who likes to game on other devices, enjoys watching movies on television and stuff like that, and only uses your phone daily for social media and such, then in that case, I recommend the iPhone 13, because the iPhone 13 is a phone very focused on social media, browse, cameras, and apps purely for the phone experience. One of the things I want to highlight about the iPhone 13 is the battery, because the battery was a huge change the iPhone 13 had compared to previous iPhones. In this case, we have a pretty long battery life that can easily last a full day, and that's why I really like to emphasize this point when I talk about the iPhone 13. It's a very positive reason to buy it. We also have all the functions that most high-end iPhone phones have. We can charge it wirelessly. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, we can use this U-Green wireless charger, which is really good. The company sent it to me. I tested it, and I liked it a lot. Compared to the latest iPhones, it still seems to me that the iPhone 13 has a battery that's pretty decent for 2025. You can use it without any problems in 2025. Of course, we already have the iPhone 16, which has better battery life, but still, the battery life isn't that different from the iPhone 13. Obviously, it's going to last a lot longer because the iPhone 16's battery is in better shape. And in this case, they also improved the optimization a bit, but there's not a difference where you'd say, wow, it's crazy how many hours the iPhone 16 lasts me. The biggest leap for me was from the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 13. Obviously, the iPhone 16 will have a lot more battery life, but it wasn't as big of a jump as the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 13. Is the iPhone 13 worth it in 2025? In my opinion, it seems to be one of the best value for money options you can buy in 2025, because in terms of price, it's pretty appealing. It's not an unaffordable phone. It's a phone you can find nowadays refurbished or used for a price around $300 to $400 or euros. This varies a lot depending on the country, or it might even be cheaper, especially if you're in the United States, where you can find it for a much more accessible price from people selling it used. For $300 to $400 or euros, this phone seems like an excellent option that can last you until 2025, 2026, and even 2027 without any problems. So, if you're thinking about buying this iPhone 13, go ahead and do it. I recommend that if you have the chance, try it out. If you don't have the chance and want to take a risk, go for it, because you won't regret it. It's a pretty fast phone, takes really good photos. The size in terms of design isn't that big, but you can easily adapt to it. The iOS system is really good, very fluid. It's one of the things I like most about the iOS system, and it's a phone you're going to fall in love with. Tell me in the comments if you have a different opinion than mine. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video so you don't miss the next ones. See you later. Bye.